Gruesome stories from the Dead House, aka the morgue, and this one is called The Grief Was Too Great. The Dead House in Paris was situated along the bank of the Seine River. It was used by the city to house those who came to a violent end. Whether the victims died on land or water, their bodies were placed in the dead house until a family member could have claimed the body and buried them properly, or they ended up getting buried in a poor man's grave. Two men operated the dead house in 1839. Both lived with their families on the upper floor of the building. The men, with the help of their wives, kept impeccable records of the dead, names, if known, cause of death, and the dates of the bodies were brought into the building. The men witnessed many tragedies at the La Morgue, but perhaps one of the saddest was the case of little Lenore. She was a small child, and one winter day her perfectly little body was laid on a marble slab inside the dead house. Her nurse had carried her in with tears streaming down her cheeks. The nurse explained that she and the child had been on a stagecoach. The nurse had fallen asleep and the child had slipped away, suffocating among the luggage and the other passengers. The nurse laid the little girl down and began kissing her cheeks and her little hands. The nurse begged the dead house watcher to bring the child back to life. When she realized it could not be done, she asked to see the little girl's bright blue eyes one last time. The nurse left, but was not gone for long. The nurse's body was soon wheeled to the dead house, dripping from water onto the ground. She must have jumped into the river. Her body was laid beside that little girl to await someone to claim them both.